Like that's my biggest fear to be taking a shit or taking a shower and the earth start moving. And I'm like, not like this.
The
Not like this.
worst way to like to go out, and then imagine them finding your body.
That's what
You're
I'm
just
saying.
covered in shit. Just
I mean, just you can't explain yourself. You're not around. You're like, man, I didn't.
where are you located right now?
I live in LA, but I'm in East Coast for the summer. So I've been out
Okay.
here. I've been in like New York for like middle of June, basically. Right after I recorded the album, like I did a week in LA, and I came out this way.
Wow. Okay. I'm in Atlanta. I'm from where you're from, so
Okay.
yeah, just hanging out and working. What's the summer been like up there? And
Hot and rainy as fuck.
yep. Yeah.
Sound like I mean it's probably Georgia right now too. I mean that's from what I know is the weather been crazy out there too. So yeah, it's just been a lot. I mean, which I love though, man. I don't like California, man. We don't get a lot of rain, so
hmm
I people everybody that's complaining about it. I'm like I love it. Give
I
me a
mean, well,
reason to
you
stay in
had
the
to deal
house.
with a couple of hurricanes though, so
Man, I was in Puerto Rico last week when it was damn near a hurricane. We almost flew into one, and then there was like another tropical depression on our way out. So it was everybody else there was like, it should happen all the time.
are you? Would you worry about being stranded there? Like that'd be like my worst fear is being stranded
Yeah,
in a different place.
yeah, yeah, all the time. I'm worried about getting stranded in Puerto Rico during a hurricane as much as I am taking a shit in an earthquake in California.
Right?
Like that's my biggest fear to be taking a shit or taking a shower and the earth start moving. And I'm like, not like this.
The
Not like this.
worst way to like to go out, and then imagine them finding your body.
That's what
You're
I'm
just
saying.
covered in shit. Just
I mean, just you can't explain yourself. You're not around. You're like, man, I didn't. It only happens in those moments. It never happens when you prepare for the shit. It only happens when you get your pants around your ankle.
you know what? This is like, look, you can stand up immediately if the earth starts moving while you're pooping, and just throw on your underwear so that no one is the wiser. Flush the toilet, make sure everything's all
That's
right.
what
Make sure.
I'm telling you. They need to make them underwear with the back flap a little more. So at least you're not fully exposed. If we get a back flap, hey man, I can live without a little crack out. But if I got everything out,
But would you wear that on a date? Would you imagine meeting a
draws with
woman?
a back flap
Yeah,
on a date,
yeah.
yeah, absolutely.
No, no, that's where I draw the line. I can't pull those off. I can barely pull off a yellow V-neck.
No, man, you got look, man. That's just prepared. I was a Boy Scout for like 8 months. I was a Boy Scout. That's just being prepared.
Hey,
That way you don't have to take that little, the little thing in the bathroom and
mhm.
put on the toilet, the
Yeah,
little paper thing. You ain't got to worry
yeah.
about that. Now your butt cheeks are cupped, man. I think it's a great idea.
You should patent this. I will not give you financial backing, but I'll give you spiritual backing.
All right, man. You don't want to be an angel investor in the back out draws.
Look, Bell's back flaps are on. They're gonna be in style. Kanye's gonna show them at the new Donda event. He's gonna be wearing them.
You talking yourself out of these millions,
You know what? I think we'll go to Shark Tank. I'm officially back aboard.
man. If you don't think Damon Mark Cuban falling for this, I'm telling you, man. The older you get, I dare say make it Velcro.
Oh yes, even better.
Come on, man. Get out of these buttons and these snaps. So let's step into the new millennium. I mean, quick.
Cleaning them is just gonna be the worst. Uh, so again, thanks for sitting down with me. Talk about your work in the comedy world. You're a very funny guy. I remember watching your half hour special. What was that now? Like 6 years ago? Like,
Man, 2015, yeah.
geez, and that was because I hadn't watched. I mean, I don't watch a lot of stand up now, but back then I was just taking whatever I could get,
Yeah,
and that was the revamp of the Comedy Central half hour.
yeah.
That had to be such a cool experience to be on that stage you under that name of Comedy Central with the new half hour special.
Man, it was amazing. Because when you get into it, you set You said like what you think are going to be realistic goals, and you don't know how. Especially being fans of people that don't always get one.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like dudes you could be fans of. I've been watching you for 10 years, and maybe I don't know if you didn't want a half hour, or maybe the half hour went away, or what happened. And but luckily, I got an opportunity to do one. So yeah, it's you set that 5, 10 year goal of like I want a half hour, and then it comes, and you go, all right, what's next? You know what I mean? Like you get it, and then you go like, because I got a friend that have done 3 half hours, and friends that have done 3 hours. So it's like, but it's still, I think you just got to set the goal and go, man, I definitely want to do a half hour first. I want to do an hour. I want to do, you just set the goal and you try to get there. And luckily, man, it's career wise, it's been everything I've wanted to do, I've been able to do.
How does it how did it feel, doing that, the process of preparing for it and then actually doing it in front of a crowd that was there to more or less see you?
Man, that's the best part. I mean, it was. I mean, like I remember Sam J, who's hilarious. Sam J is killing right now,
Yeah.
and she was at my half hour taping, and she was like, "Yo, this is," and then to watch her do this now. I mean, it's the experiences around it and the peers that are there, and it's people who it's only 10 people that get one. So out of hundreds of thousands of comics, and then they pick a small group, and so you feel lucky, you feel special. I mean, it's called a special for a reason. But my biggest issue is I black out when I'm on stage. I don't remember anything from the stage. I don't remember, and people go like, "You don't remember shit?" I'm like, I don't remember nothing.
Hmm.
Like by the time I go, I mean, I usually start off with one more time for me. That's usually my first line, and then until I put the mic away, someone's like, "How was it?" I'm like, "I don't know. What y'all think?" I black completely out. Even my hour special on Showtime, I blacked the fuck out. I don't know what happened.
Yeah, I noticed that. Uh, I mean, not the fact that you black out, but you've got your delivery. You've got like 5 or 6 one-liners in the middle of a joke, and then you have and it's very fast. It's very fluid. It flows very well, and then at the end, it's a very soft or hard landing onto the punchline that you deliver very slowly, and people are just catching up, and it's insane delivery that I think really works well, especially for your voice.
Oh, thank you, thank you. Yeah, I mean, like it's one of those. I mean, I heard a comic talk about what, if I'm not mistaken, he was talking about how Chris Rock mentioned that a while ago. And there's another comic in Dallas named Paul Verghese who mentioned that early on in my career, and he was talking about just when the click of the roller coaster goes up and the build up and everything, and then you get to the top, and then
Yeah.
right when you drop that punchline, you should be going back up again. And so if we're talking about just ups and downs of a roller coaster, to me there's also that straightaway in a roller coaster that's just for speed, right? So like that's the pause to me that allows people to go, where are we going with this? And then from there, it's either going to be build back up again or a drop. So to me, it's like that anticipation of we don't know what the next move is going to be.
Yeah, and it's also the subject matter, like the joke you have about working out at the gym, which is a segment of its own in the half hour special, but
Yeah.
it's 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 not as simply boiled down as men and women are different, or white people talk like this, or black people talk like that. It is like, which is something I think about like constantly. Like that's why I kind of don't watch a lot of stand up anymore, is because we still have comics doing '90s material in 2000, and so if you can be as esoteric. I hate to sound like an asshole, but if you can be
Yeah.
as esoteric and talk about going to the gym and getting big, I mean, or not getting big in your case, and that's not a slam. I think that that's a very smart way to do stand up.
Yeah. I mean, it's, man, everything is funny. Everything. It doesn't matter. I mean, that's what like always drives me crazy about. I mean, I got friends from home that'll be like, "Oh, I don't like white comedy." It's like I could repeat a joke from a comic that I know who's white, and they would laugh, and I'd be like, "That was a white dude's joke.
Yeah.
You thought it was fun." It's like you don't give stuff a chance. So like I think if people just open themselves up to, man, I never thought this could be funny. like you take something very small. I mean, to me, it's like the Seinfeld effect, right? I mean, like that's what Seinfeld was. Like, I'm gonna take this very small thing and blow it out of proportion.
Mhm.
And so that was a huge influence. Like, what's so like what's so funny about pull-ups? Sounds like nothing, but all right, here's a story, and then here's some examples, and here's some examples, and here's why pull-ups are dumb.
Right.
Like, there's a result that comes from it, but also when I'm gonna need this, when I'm gonna need this ability to
Mhm.
just do it over and over again. Yeah, muscles are fine, but I lock my doors too, so I don't need these muscles.
Right.
You know what I mean? So like it's like, to me, that's the give and take. Anything is funny. Anything. It doesn't really matter what it is. If you can find that relatability to it, or it's so ridiculous, people just have to go on a journey with you. It works.
Yeah, and also, yeah, you're not gonna need to rip off what is it, zombies' arms? You know, just want to you don't want to be the leader. You want to be the second in command. It's a
Right. Like,
very
that's too much pressure.
that's a very funny add-on. What's it like recording with cameras in the room and knowing that this is going to be on television? It's because it has to be different from just recording at the Comedy Store or anything that's not going to be seen by a wider audience. You know, you're doing if you're
Yeah.
at a comedy show, you're doing a show just for those people. But if you're shooting for television, if you're doing late night, you have to make sure it's broad and wide enough for everybody to get.
Well, like late night, I think is one thing because, like, you're a guest on the show, and it's your special. It's all of it's you. It's This is what the product I want to put out. I think a lot of, especially now when you do late nights, it's an appetizer to, hopefully you want to see more of me, right?
Mm-hmm.
But when it's an hour, it's yeah. When the camera's on, I mean, some specials are different now, but I mean, traditionally, I think it's just, here's what I've been working on for the last couple of years. So it really should be fluid. It should really just be, so I, like I said, I black out, so the cameras didn't even matter to me,
Right.
right? And I mean, I've been to specials where you have to reset, right? So you take two versions of it. You do Friday night, you do Saturday night, or whatever. You do two in a Saturday, whatever it's going to be, and you got to reset this stool in the right place because it's not going to look right when we cut here. Or you got, so that can be tricky. But I've never had to reset myself, which is nice. I've seen people have to go reset themselves, and it doesn't really break the flow because everybody there wants you to win anyway. That's also what's nice about it. I mean, unless people don't know what you're doing, which would be kind of silly because all these cameras around, they should know. But unless they don't know what you're doing, everybody is here to see you win. So I mean, it's a great feeling because even jokes that didn't work as well, like it might not even be a joke. To be honest, it could just be a setup or a transition or some sort of segue, and
Right.
you get a laugh in places you didn't think you was gonna get a laugh because everybody wants you to win. And you're like, man, this never got a laugh before. I guess I'll keep going. I guess I'll just drop this next tag, and so you start finding stuff and hopefully have more fun. But I mean, like I said, in my case, I know I'm having so much fun because I leave it all out there. I don't really know what happened.
Is and so I want to get to the album. One Night in Austin. I had to look up the name. I did not get to hear it yet. I did not even get to hear it, but I'm
Listen,
very
I haven't sent it to you.
but I'm very interested in it because again, you're a very funny guy and you've got these ideas that just go beyond traditional comedy. What did you? Was that recorded before the pandemic or during?
No,
Or
I just this past June.
wow, okay,
So my idea was, in a regular year, at the end of 20 or top of 21, I was hoping to be touring with last year to be able to do a new special, to do a new hour,
hmm,
because that didn't really happen. And some people got some hours out that are really good, but I didn't want to do like pandemic jokes or a bunch of COVID jokes or,
yeah,
just leaning in on what a lot of people are going to talk about in the first place. So it was. I mean, kind of. It was almost like a, people on Instagram now do these meme dumps or
hmm,
like these photo dumps or whatever. It was almost like a story dump. I mean, really, it was like, this is stuff that I've been working on in 19, stuff that kind of happened in 2020, not related to the pandemic at all. And it's just stuff I wanted to get out. And as soon as I felt like I had a through line, it was like, all right, man, let's record this. I'm probably not going to be a special, but these are, man, this shit's funny, and let me put some content out for some people. So I mean, that's why, like, it didn't really go on theme, which is like, uh, I mean, it was going to be called like One Night in Miami, but in Austin,
yeah,
because the cover art looks like Miami. It ain't. right? So it was, I mean, it's just a photo shoot we did. It was like, man, let's just make it look silly, make it look sexy, and then tell some stories. And then it's probably the most graphic I've ever gotten, especially like sexual content. So that's a little different for me, but it's still a dope story. So I mean, it really was just wanting to get this out of my system, and then I haven't put anything new out. And it was like I got these stories. Probably two of those stories will probably make it onto the next special because I think there's a visual there that was going to help. But and also it was great because nobody knew I was recording.
Wow. Okay.
Like the audience didn't know I was recording. So they found out at the end. So it was just very organic. I mean, it's a club set. Nobody knew that this was going to be an album. They didn't know they were a part of it. So it's like a slow burn of people getting to know who I was if they never seen me before. I had fans there, had some people who had never heard of me, I'm sure. And so we start slow and like a nice intro, then we start chipping away, and then about 20 minutes in, that shit we start rolling.
That's a good way to approach it. I think that in 5-10 years, when this pandemic is, I don't want to say over. I can only assume it will be, but when it's behind us, and we're looking back on the shows and movies and specials and everything that was and music that was made within the this time frame of a couple of years, those a lot of them won't age well. But if you can do something that is just so green, then why not? Because I mean,
Yeah.
it's I don't want to hear like, oh, I sat at home for 18 months. Like that's not funny. Like I mean, sure, now it's funny, but in 2031 when the aliens have finally decided to kill us all, I mean, it's not going to be funny at
You don't
all.
think they're gonna be nice?
I maybe they might be, but they've been getting old episodes of I Love Lucy and Leave It to Beaver. We've been broadcasting that out to the stars. I don't think
Oh,
they're
you
gonna
didn't get an analog TV? No
they're like, have you guys seen I Love Lucy? And we're like, we're talking about Game of Thrones at this point.
I think they're gonna be nice. I'm hoping they're nice.
Yeah,
I'm gonna be like, I don't know them. Take me with y'all. I'm good.
I'm ready to get out of here. Uh, so I also want to touch on the sitcom acting. I've seen all of the shows that have sadly been canceled, but that you've been a part of. And it's I mean it's a shame. It's a shame, but multicam is a really good job. You work 4 or 5 days a week, and you get paid really well. Uh, what the transition? What was that transition like? Doing stand up, but also doing multicam. But then, and you don't have to go into this if you don't want to, but the pain that comes with the job of losing those multicams, because each one of those were huge, big name shows. From Whitney to Disjointed.
Yeah.
So how did that feel for you?
I mean, look, man, uh, it's beautiful, and then it hurts. Like I mean, I was saying this earlier during the interview, but I mean, unbelievably so, I end up getting the opportunity quick, right? So I get to LA in August of 2011, and within the first year I was there, I'm a regular on a TV show, right? Did a couple commercials, did like one arc on a VH1 show, and then I'm in the lead cast of a sitcom, and then that leads to another sitcom, and that leads to another sitcom, and they get taken away. But the best part is doing something that honestly very few get the opportunity to do, and not ever knowing if you're going to do it. So each one is kind of like, man, I didn't even know. My Twitter bio is like, where luck and timing equals rent. You know what I mean? It's yeah, I mean, so yeah, it's bittersweet because I got the job, it got on air. For some reason, can't get a season two. For some reason, cannot get the season two. So which is why my first hour special was called "Can't Cancel This." Like, this is the first thing I've done that y'all cannot cancel. Like that, everybody thought it was cancel culture when they finally saw it. I was like, no, man, this is about my career.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, it's bittersweet. It's bittersweet. I mean, luckily, I mean, every cast I've had has been unbelievable, and they're all better every time. It's just I've luckily never had a job that I hated. The cast has always been great. So it's I mean, just the opportunity itself is a blessing, and wouldn't trade it.
Yeah.
Now I'd be extremely rich if I could get 4 seasons in. If I could get if I could get me 80, if I could get me some Blackish money.
Oh yes.
If I was with Kenyon when he got the call that Blackish got, we were in the mall shopping, and he was like, the show just got picked up. I think I got to call my wife. I was like, yeah, you should probably get the fuck out of the mall with me and call your wife. Yes, you should probably do that. And then next thing I know, 8 seasons, man. It's uh, then you see Anthony Anderson rolling in the Maybach, and you go, yeah,
Yeah.
man, makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Makes sense.
And that Anthony's hosting Truth Be Told, and that's in its what, fourth or fifth season too,
I
and he's
mean,
just sitting there making jokes with his mom.
or Smirnoff commercials. I mean, he doing everything.
He went from Kangaroo Jack to Truth Be Told and
What
Black.
was the what was the where he played the chubby kid on the basketball show? What show was that? That came on Saturdays. You know what I'm talking about? He played Teddy.
Oh my God, this is the callback.
I mean, he been working. Anthony
Yeah,
Anderson been in the game.
yeah. I'm so proud of him. I don't know him. I'm not like you. I don't know him. But I'm so proud of him. But then now you've been able to translate that into so a little bit of dramatic acting in Sylvie's Love
Yeah.
and the United States versus Billie Holiday, which is a transition that comedians only make when they're in their late 50s. So again, you are just jumping ahead in your career, which is an astonishing achievement.
Well, I mean, I guess you did that math or took that average, which I didn't know. I was talking to comedian Coco Brown, and she wasn't comparing me to, but she goes, "The last person I've seen I can really do this is Jamie,"
Oh,
and or just go from comedy to drama like that. But I think it's more than that, to be honest with you. I mean, Kevin's done a little bit of it now with some drama, some dramatic stuff. I think Marlon has had a kind of a, I mean, as a Requiem for a Dream back in the day, and then I mean, I think Marlon's kind of tapped into a lot of that, and I don't think he gets enough credit with that. But I think there's some other comics that do it, but I do think there's a you gotta want to do it, right? It's I mean, there's a part of me, of course, I got frustrated with sitcoms going, they're dying. I love it, but people don't want it, and then it also just gives yourself another challenge. Like, is this a challenge I can face? Can I meet it? So it's uh there's like when Naeem Lynn said in a bit at one point, like if I never want to reach 10, because if I reach 10, then the only way to go is down.
right.
Right. So like you always want to set a new goal so that all right, comedy I can do. I've even if you don't know about me, I've proven that people want to invest in my humor. All right. So I can do a sitcom, I can do a single cam, I can do a half-hour special, I can do an hour special. I've done late night. So checking these boxes off of things I want for my career. It's like, all right, man, now I want to do. I mean, in in a year, I mean, I look the same in both movies with the hair and the mustache and everything. But two different sides, man. Getting a chance to kind of play a villain when I've always traditionally played a nice guy. So
Hmm.
that was also like luckily I look different enough to me so people don't recognize me, because people hate that, man. People hate that character. People hate that motherfucker. I mean, it is.
I've heard. I've heard.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I got people moms that look at me different now.
That's
I got to walk into their house with my hands in my pockets. They don't let my hands roam freely no more.
I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. Um, I also want to mention before we go, you were on America's Soul. I was in the background of one or
How
two.
were you?
It was, I don't even remember. I think it was a church scene. It was shot, obviously shot here in Atlanta, but
Right.
I think we're in a church dream sequence, and it was the last time I said, you know what, I'm too. This is so stupid. I'm too big of a person to in the industry to do background stuff, and this is all I do. This is all I do. I do this, and I produce news sometimes, and but like
It's a
I
hard
was.
life, man.
Yeah, yeah. I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it anymore.
I mean, I had my days of doing background, man, and that is a tough. But I will say, I mean, I've gotten some friends some background work and some stand-in work, like in LA, and which is, if you're trying to meet some people, somebody on the, if it's random, that shit tough.
Yeah.
If you know some people on set, and you come in, like, I can network a little bit. I
Mhm.
can, because if what, $100 a day and some food,
Yeah, that's what it is.
if you can, if you need that, is there. I will give it that. But yeah, that's a tough life, man. Like sitting around for 12, 14 hours and like
Mhm.
doing nothing.
Yeah.
Sometimes you outside. I mean, I did one joint um back in the day. I mean, I was like This before I even started comedy. I was doing this HBO feature, and I had like, I don't know, I would say one line, but it was like 4 words. And then they cut that, and then I end up seeing it later, and it's just a wide shot from a train of me playing a slave. And I had all these close-ups, and I had these had like these 3 words, and I was like, "Yo, I'm in." And then I see it, and they were like, did you see you?" I was like, "I mean, I saw. I think that was me." And I was like, I can't do this no more.
That's so
I
sad.
cannot do this no more."
That the American Soul one I think was $64, and then obviously tax that's like 52 or 58. But I did get an email for one for an HBO limited series or something like that. That was $252 per day plus $100 COVID. Like that was a COVID rate too, and then you
Okay,
also
okay,
get sequestered, and then you get paid a different rate for being sequestered. So all in told, it would be like if you worked a week, it'd probably be like $1,200. And I just thought, "Ooh, that's the life, man. That's
I
a
mean, yeah, that ain't terrible.
yeah."
That ain't terrible. When I was in Dallas, I forget the name of the show. It was an NBC show that was shooting in Dallas, or they shot this. I don't know if they shot the series there, but they shot this episode in Dallas. And I got, would you say you made 64?
Yeah,
Okay, for American Soul, right? Was that American Soul?
yeah, I think so. Yeah.
I think I made $88 for this thing. And this is back in like 2010, maybe $88. And the agent that called me for her commission.
Oh my god,
I
jeez.
was like, I gotta go take this bitch $8. I gotta go take this motherfucker. And I was mad. I took it in the office, and she was like, "Sorry, you can write me a check." I was like, "I'm not wasting a check on you." And also, I counted out 8 singles, and I dropped that motherfucker 90 cents. I was like, I cannot believe
Damn.
you asking me for this.
Oh god.
Take it, take your little money. I want to see you put it in your purse. Take it, grab it. No, no, I'm not gonna leave it there. I want you to touch it. I want you to show me that you needed this money. I was I was so hot. I was so hot. No, no, pick it up. I should have took it in nickels. That's what I should have done. I
That's
should have
what.
took it in all change. I wasn't as petty as I am now, though.
Oh god. Well, I'm glad. I'm glad. At least you're not petty enough to. You know, you're going out there.
Oh, I am that petty now.
Oh, okay.
I'm absolutely that petty now.
Well, you proved me wrong.
I should have made her come get it from me. That's what I should have. I should have like, I got your money.
I'm not spending the gas money to go and give you
And
this.
a matter of fact, I'm in Fort Worth, so you're gonna have to burn $15 of gas to come get your less than $9. That's what I should have done.
Damn, golly. Well, Tone, it looks like we're out of time. I didn't want to take up too much of your time. I know you're a busy guy, but
All good, all good.
thank you, man. I appreciate this. Again, you're a very funny person, and I'm so glad that your career is just skyrocketing. You're doing
Hey man, I
wonderful.
appreciate it, and good luck to yours as well, man. I appreciate it. And
Thank you, bro.
if man, let's make sure you get the album, man. I hope you enjoy it.
I'm definitely gonna try to get my hands on it before it comes out. So yeah.
Word.
But all right, man. You have a good rest of your week.
All right, Chad.